Felix, her boyfriend, has tracked her down and has arrived at her house to see her. So Isabel's brother approaches her and informs her about Felix. She specifically requests that her brother not inform their mother that Felix is her boyfriend. Isabel's mother, on the other hand, finds out about it and invites Felix around for supper. Isabel, on the other hand, refuses, claiming Felix is a moron. She then goes back to the beach with her brother. She runs across Felix, who is also on the beach. He invites Isabel to spend the evening with him. Isabel accepts his invitation to accompany him. However, because her family may prevent her from stepping outdoors in the evening, Isabel asks her brother to divert the family. Felix kisses Isabel after a long conversation, and the two passionately mate. Isabel didn't have a good time because it was her first time. Felix then escorts Isabel home and departs. Isabel's younger brother is sleeping in her bed since he is concerned about her well-being. He is aware of the events surrounding Isabel and Felix and requests that she tell him everything. Isabel, on the other hand, refuses to discuss anything and urges her brother to leave. Isabel celebrates her 17th birthday a few days later. She didn't invite Felix to her birthday celebration since she no longer wants him in her life. Isabel and her family are preparing to leave after a few days, as their summer vacation is coming to an end. Isabel notices Felix cycling down the road on her way home. She, on the other hand, ignores him and goes on her way, as she no longer wishes to be in a relationship with him. After some time has passed, the autumn season has arrived. Isabel is currently heading to a hotel, where a client named George has reserved a room for her. When Isabel walks into the room, she is taken aback to discover George, who has lied about his age and appears to be considerably older than he claims. George pours a drink for Isabel and inquires about her age. Isabel claims to be a student and also lies about her age, claiming that she is now an adult. Isabel and George mate after a brief conversation. Isabel has evolved into a high-end mating partner that seeks out wealthy males to mate with. She finds her clients and offers them her services through an online website. The students are debating a poem in class one day. According to one student, the poem is about a summer romance in which a young man or woman wishes to try something new. According to another student, even if the person gets the desired trip, he or she will still be alone, with no one to love or care about. It is a never-ending cycle of love and grief. In some ways, the poem depicts Isabel's life, who is going through a similar cycle of love and despair and is searching for something. One of Isabel's clients contacts her after the class. Isabel walks to a public restroom to change her clothes in order to appear more professional and mature before meeting with her customer. Isabel then returns to the hotel, where her customer is waiting for her. They enter the room together. The man does not touch Isabel and instead takes joy in observing her naked. Isabel requests payment as she prepares to leave. Her customer, however, does not pay her in full and threatens to expose her by notifying her parents. Isabel becomes frightened and returns home without saying anything. Isabel's mother invites Isabel to the theater with her at home. Isabel rejects and gives a series of justifications. Isabel's mother, on the other hand, persuades her to go to the theater. Isabel notices George with another woman at the play. Isabel flirts with George by making eye contact with him. Isabel notices her mother with one of their family friends as they leave and assumes they are having an affair. The next day, Isabel goes to a motel to see George, where they passionately mate. Isabel discovers George is taking drugs before mating with her while taking a shower. Isabel and George are attracted to each other and begin meeting on a regular basis. Isabel inquires about the woman she saw at the theater one day. The woman is George's daughter, he says. He's attempting to mend his relationship with his daughter, who has been bitter towards George for a long time. They continue mating after a little conversation. George has a heart attack and dies on the spot during the performance. Isabel tries everything she can to resurrect George, but it is too late. Isabel is startled and rushes out of the hotel room, not wanting to become a suspect. Winter has arrived as the days pass. The cops have learned about Isabel and have arrived at Isabel's mother's office to face her. They inform Isabel's mother of George's death, as well as the fact that Isabel is a premium mating partner and the last person to see George. However, because Isabel is just 17 years old and not yet an adult, she will be deemed a victim in this case and will not be sentenced to prison. The police arrive at Isabel's home and search her laptop, where they discover the website Isabel used to communicate with her clients. They also discover all of Isabel's earnings from her adult services. When Isabel arrives home, her mother confronts her and beats her mercilessly. Isabel tells Isabel's mother that she has quit and is no longer a premium mating partner once her mother has calmed down. Isabel travels to the police station the next day to give her a statement. She claims that a man approached her after school a few months ago and offered her money to mate with her. Isabel initially turned down his offer. Isabel changed her mind a week later and agreed to meet the man since she wanted to test out the adult industry. Isabel answers no to the cops when they inquire if she will continue to provide adult services. Isabel also adds that George used to take medicines before mating, which could have resulted in a heart attack owing to an overdose. Isabel's mother informs her that they will be seeing a therapist the next day when she returns home. Isabel inquires about her money, and her mother informs her that she would be donating it all to charity. Isabel and her mother went to see the therapist the next day. Isabel is to meet with the therapist once a week, according to the therapist. Isabel should get all of her money back, according to the therapist, because she has earned it. After some time has passed, Isabel has returned to her daily routine. She is babysitting Peter and his wife's children. Isabel takes her to go when they come home. Peter offers to drop her off to her house, but Peter's wife refuses and goes herself, fearful that Isabel may seduce her husband. Isabel returns home to discover her stepfather alone on the couch. Isabel begins flirting with him, which irritates her stepfather. When Isabel's mother sees them together, she is disgusted. She's baffled as to why Isabel is acting so strangely and what has happened to her. She tries to communicate with Isabel in order to comprehend her feelings, but Isabel assures her that she is all right. Isabel visits the therapist the next day. She explains that she was attracted by the website she used to connect with clients when she first discovered it. Isabel also confesses that she liked George a lot because he was always sweet to her and cared about her. Isabel no longer wants to be a premium mating partner after his death because it reminds her of George. Later, Isabel meets up with a friend who has recently experienced a split. Isabel invites her to a party with her to cheer her up. Isabel meets a guy at the party who has a crush on her. When the guy approaches Isabel, he asks whether he can kiss her. Time together and have developed a romantic relationship. The winter season is past, and the spring season has here. Isabel is mating with her partner in her room. Isabel later confesses to her lover that she doesn't love him and intends to quit their relationship. Isabel then reactivates the phone number she used to contact her clients. Soon after, she begins to receive a flood of messages, one of which was from George's wife, who expressed an interest in meeting Isabel. Isabel agrees to meet her and goes to the same hotel where she used to meet George. Isabel's beauty is admired by George's wife, who takes her to the same room where George died. George's wife lies down on the bed with Isabel and caresses her in the same way that George used to. George's wife was eager to see the woman who had given him so much pleasure that he had fallen in love with her. George's wife realizes that she, too, used to be like Isabel at one point in her life. This was why George kept running across Isabel, who reminded him of his young wife. Isabel falls asleep shortly after. When she awakens, she discovers that George's wife is no longer with him. And this is where the movie comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, until next time.